Back to the daily grind, and shout out to the full-time patrons. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
It's your boy Taco Bell Wani. Actually, it's your boy Full-Time Toilet Cleaner. I just got off work, so that name's a little more fitting at this time. But either way, holy fuck, Eddie Alvarez vs. Dustin Poirier 2 is set for UFC on Fox 30 in Calgary, aka Dana White's baddest birthday card. Dana White joined the UFC Unfiltered podcast, or Filtered podcast, whichever one you want to call it, and he had to say this, speaking of UFC on Fox in Calgary. He talked about how they owed Calgary because back at UFC 149, Jose Aldo was scheduled to defend his title there versus Eric Koch, I believe, and had to pull out due to injury. So they lost Jose Aldo, who was probably the main selling point of that card, being the featherweight king for so long as he was. And a lot of you probably don't even know who Eric Koch is, because I don't. No, but on a serious note, so they lost, you know what I'm saying, Jose Aldo. And on top of this being the return to Calgary, it's Dana White's birthday weekend. So Dana White's going to be in town with this, you know, grand evening of fights. This card, I want to talk about this fight, but we got to pull up this card first. There was even talks about Nico Montano versus Valentina Shevchenko being on this card. We don't know what's going on with that situation, as we saw, you know, the UFC's having a little bit of trouble getting Nico Montano booked due to injury. It's because she just had her tonsils taken out, or she had tonsillitis and just got her tonsillectomy and got her adenoids taken out. But yeah, real deal. So Nico Montano might not be defending her title on this card, but you still got Eddie Alvarez now versus Dustin Poirier, Jose Aldo versus Jeremy Stephens, Joanna Jędrzejczyk versus Tisha Torres, Alexander Hernandez versus Olivier Albert Mercier. Holy smokes. And then of course a lot of Canadian talent on the card. Even Olivier Alvin Mercier, Caitlin Chookagian. You got Randa Marcos versus Nina Ansarov. Matthias Nicolau versus Dustin Ortiz. A lot of these fights, if you don't know their names toward the bottom, it's a lot of really good fighters, because for one, they're in the UFC, and for two, it's also a lot of Canadian talent. You know what I'm saying? It's in Calgary. But if you look at the main card, that's a card for even the fucking casual fans can tune into this. Are you kidding me? Eddie Alvarez versus Dustin Poirier 2 on free TV? Are you kidding me? This fucking fight is insane. The first fight was great, ended in controversy, no contest. Let's talk about that fight for a second. Eddie Alvarez versus Dustin Poirier 1 happened, ended in a no contest, and a lot has happened since then to get to this rematch. It was a no contest. Some people thought the rematch could have happened immediately, but there was other plans, as Eddie Alvarez, after the no contest, went on to coach The Ultimate Fighter against Justin Gaethje and fight Justin Gaethje, and Dustin Poirier ended up having to go on and fight Anthony Pettis and then fight Justin Gaethje, and now we're at this point. But in the first fight, the controversy came at the end because it ended due to an illegal knee thrown by Eddie Alvarez. Now, leading up to that point, Dustin Poirier was putting a whooping on Eddie Alvarez. If you go back and watch the fight, as I did recently, Dustin Poirier was definitely doing work in round 1 and I believe a majority of round 2, but Eddie Alvarez was mounting a comeback for sure. He was definitely mounting a comeback, but toward the end of his comeback, and he might not even have necessarily needed to throw this illegal knee at this point, because he was mounting a comeback. I'm telling you, it wasn't like he threw the illegal knee to get out of the fight by any means. Eddie Alvarez was mounting a comeback. It was a hell of a fight. Dustin Poirier looked amazing early. Eddie Alvarez was coming back, and then it ended in controversy as Eddie Alvarez he ended up throwing an illegal knee at Dustin Poirier, and Dustin Poirier couldn't continue, so the fight was called off. And a lot of the times, the person who throws the illegal strike might get disqualified. I believe we saw that in, or even if they don't get disqualified, yeah, normally, you know, they might get disqualified and the win would go to the other fighter. So Dustin Poirier got kneed in the head, so some of the times he would get the win, and Eddie Alvarez would have been disqualified, but it was ruled a no contest. Now, with that being said, the crowd was booing. The crowd was booing Eddie Alvarez, and Dustin Poirier on the mic was like, yo, you guys, don't boo this guy. We're warriors in here. We put it all on the line. Don't boo this man, you know what I'm saying? So he was looking out for the dude, Eddie, that he was just fighting Eddie Alvarez. So then after that, he was assuming probably going to get a rematch, get it on. But then Eddie Alvarez ended up going another route. He took the better opportunity, definitely more money, getting the opportunity to coach the Ultimate Fighter and fight Justin Gaethje, who had a lot of hype. He might have even been the bigger fight at that point. As far as fans are concerned, clout is concerned, Dustin Poirier is definitely the veteran or the guy you would want to win over on your resume. He's definitely the more respected fighter in that sense. But Justin Gaethje had a lot of hype after that win over Michael Johnson, and he was going to get to coach the Ultimate Fighter. So for Eddie Alvarez, that's a great opportunity. The Ultimate Fighter, a Justin Gaethje fight on a big card. Eddie Alvarez took that, can't be mad. Well, Dustin Poirier ended up taking a fight with Anthony Pettis, finished Anthony Pettis, ended up having to get another fight with Justin Gaethje, and he finished Justin Gaethje. So now we're at this point to where the fight's rebooked, and it's on a stacked card on free TV, UFC on Fox 30 in Calgary. This is Dana White's birthday card, and if I'm not mistaken, it might actually be the last big Fox card on the Fox contract. I could be mistaken there, but I know there wasn't much big Fox events left on that contract. So that's another topic for another day. This card is stacked, and I'll tell you what, UFC 224 is this weekend. I like this card on paper better than UFC 224. I mean, respect to Amanda Nunes, that's definitely going to be a great fight, Amanda Nunes and Raquel Pennington. And by when I mean a great fight, I just mean it's a championship level fight. Amanda Nunes is a respected champion defending her belt. You got to respect that. So I definitely am going to be watching it. But as far as the entire card is concerned, and it might, looking lower on the card, you might not see that, but actually UFC 224 is not super stacked. I mean, you got Mackenzie Dern on the card, prospect coming back out. You got a couple great fights at UFC 224, right? Lyoto Machida versus Vitor Belfort. I mean, I'm more hyped for Jose Aldo versus Jeremy Stephens. You know what I'm saying? And when you compare Mackenzie Dern's fight, another card on the main card, I like the Joanna Jacek versus Tisha Torres fight better than the Mackenzie Dern fight. You know what I'm saying? Versus Amanda Bobby Cooper, Olivier. Dude, this fucking main card, I probably would take over UFC 224. That is no fucking joke. UFC 224 is going to cost $65, and I'm telling you, this card could be that pay-per-view. If you switched them around, I wouldn't even be mad. Charge us $65 for this one, and boom, make that one free. UFC 224, you know what I'm saying? The only difference here is this one doesn't have a title fight yet. UFC 224 does have a title fight. But with that being said, who knows? We might fuck around and get one other oddball fight thrown on this card, and it might fuck around and be Nico Montano versus Valentina Shevchenko. And if that's the case, holy smokes, this card's beating UFC 224 all day. And I fuck with Kelvin Gastelum and Jacare. That's another great fight. But as far as the rest of the card, I'm fucking with UFC on Fox 30 in Calgary. Hey, I cannot wait. This card is going to be insane. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. Now that Eddie Alvarez versus Dustin Poirier 2 is official for UFC on Fox 30 in Calgary, Canada. I'm out. And as always, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell right next to it so you're notified every time I upload a video. I'm out.
This is #1 bullshit.